too well with today. The irony being the 12th anniversary of the day Hurricane Katrina made landfall on August 29th, 2005.
Whew.
Oh no.
It was hard pill to swallow.
Wow.
Not even over that. New Orleans still recovering from that, and you know that, and here you are here in Beaumont dealing with this.
Something so interesting is so many people from New Orleans went to Houston to get away from the storm and ended up making Houston home. And now to deal with this a second time, it's tough. It's tough, but we're a community and everyone's gonna be resilient and get through this. But gosh, the irony for it to be just so close to a storm that devastated so many people.
Let's take it over to Eric now. Eric, we need a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know what, guys? I'm right behind you. When I was going to college up in New Hampshire, Hurricane Irene was an area that devastated New England. And looking at, the Facebook flashback, or whatever that's called, on this day thing, I'm seeing a lot of different videos and pictures that I posted that would have been back in 2011. And that's kind of giving me the same exact thing. It's surreal to be going through storms like this, yet again, with things that we're very familiar with. With Irene, that would be 6 years ago, and obviously Dejanique with going through Katrina, that would have been 12 years ago. So it's just surreal that this is going on then. The Medical Center of Southeast Texas Victory Campus Skycam Network over towards LaBerge Casino Resort in Lake Charles. And I got to tell you, up to this point, Lake Charles has been very lucky with a lot of different rain compared to what we've seen around Southeast Texas, as well as just our areas as a whole. And this is obviously right outside our studios. If you're familiar with our cameras, this area over here, this is just about always grass. It doesn't happen too often that we see the water coming up here, and this is the little feeder road that goes right under I-10, comes back around. So we obviously have a lot of water around us here at 12 News, and it does not look like we'll be seeing many people leaving here anytime soon, or really being able to get here unless they want to park a little bit further away. It's just crazy seeing everything that we have going on. The radar does continue to show Harvey spinning around the area. And really, we're not seeing all that much rain in terms of the coverage of East Texas as well as Southwest Louisiana. This is literally just parked all the rain on top of itself here into Southeast Texas, and a little bit closer of a look does show that Beaumont is seeing some heavy rain, but notice we're finally getting at least a little bit of a break. This is a very much needed break that we need, at least over towards China, over towards Nome, Sour Lake, as well as Pine Island Bayou, because this area has just been getting hammered by rain since late last night and early this morning. Looks like some heavy stuff over towards the Vida area. I don't want to forget about Vida. That's an area that has seen a lot of flooding as well. That's an area that we've been keeping an eye on, and into Lumberton, just really from Vida over towards Lumberton as well as Beaumont. Those are the areas that just keep getting impounded by rain. At least we have a little bit of relief right now into the west side of Beaumont over towards the Sour Lake, Cheek, Bevel Oaks area. To the Lakes region we go. Some heavier rain over towards Jasper, Coleman, as well as Zavala. This is some of the heavier rain that we've seen up to this point, but this area is doing a little bit better than that down to the Golden Triangle. There's been quite as much bands of rain that have been continuously sitting on top of these areas. So for the time being, these areas can handle the rain a little bit better, but obviously if we just continue to see these doses of rain, nobody's going to be able to handle that. We'll look at this yet again, and I guarantee if I updated this, because I haven't quite re-clicked on the accumulation totals, I bet some of these areas are about 22 to 23 inches of rain. So we're still seeing tremendous amounts of rain that are around the Beaumont area that have fallen within the past 48 hours. Beaumont, Port Arthur averages about 60 inches a year. Over the past 48 hours, we've seen about 20 inches, but it's even more than that. Think about this. We see a lot of rain throughout the course of a calendar year, but to see 20 inches within a 2-day span, that means we've seen a third of our annual rain total in 48 hours. That's crazy. That is unbelievable. And this is a storm that's going down in history and will continue to go down in history for us in Southeast Texas. Flash flood watch continues. No surprise there. We'll go past that quickly. The tropical storm warning still continues into Jefferson County, Orange County, as well as Cameron Parish, Calcasieu Parish. No real surprises there. We still have that storm surge watch that is in effect into Jefferson County as well as Cameron Parish, with the potential of seeing 1 to 3 foot storm surge possible as we go into Friday. Flash flood warning continues into Jasper County, Tyler County, Hardin County. Jefferson County, Orange County, and into Calcasieu Parish, as well as Cameron Parish. And we still have all those flood warnings that are around southeast Texas along all those bayous and all of those rivers as we start to have the rain pick back up here at the station. Futurecast showing us as we go over the next few hours, the heavy rain just continues to pummel southeast Texas. It continues to pummel a lot of these areas that really can't handle any of this rain anymore. We've seen our fair share. We need to get the storm the heck out of here. And it looks like we'll start to get that once we get to later tomorrow, but we're going to be paying for it tomorrow morning and really throughout the rest of the overnight hours with just tremendous rains. But if there's one silver lining, just one very small silver lining, look down towards the south. We're starting to see a little bit lighter rain into Jefferson County as well as along the immediate coast. And that's going to continue to recede back up towards the north as we get further along into tomorrow. So that's fantastic news that we can finally move this doggone storm out of here. And this version of Futurecast indicates this as well as we do get into Wednesday. Notice as we get towards the later portion of the morning hours, we really see a lot of rain within the lakes region, but a lot of that isn't quite getting far enough down to the south into the Golden Triangle. And this is something we desperately need to get this rain out of here. And notice as we get towards 5 p.m. or so, this continues to move itself off towards the northeast, which is exactly what we need to happen. So I know the next 24 hours, they're going to be rough around southeast Texas. There's no beating around the bush with that. But it looks like as we go from hours 24 to 48, we'll finally start seeing some of that improvement. The track of Harvey, well, it obviously will continue to the northeast. Notice as we get into Wednesday at about 1 o'clock, so it's about 20 hours from now, it looks like it will be over towards the Alexandria area. So that's a bit of ways away from southeast Texas as it looks to make landfall by the time we get to say about midnight to about 2 in the morning. That's what I personally think we'll start to see Harvey make its landfall. Coastal forecast, of course, tropical storm warning in effect. Variable winds 20 to 25 knots, 5 to 8 foot waves in the Gulf of Mexico, and we'll see a high tide time that is about 5:30. As far as tonight goes, we'll see those intervals of heavy rain on and off throughout the course of tonight and into tomorrow morning. It doesn't really seem like we'll see much of a let-up really over the next 12 hours or so. We'll see maybe not quite as heavy rain at times, maybe some more of that moderate to lighter rain, and that's exactly what we want. We obviously want the rain to be completely out of here, but we'd much rather have that lighter rain than that of the heavier rain with temperatures pretty irrelevant, but into the 60s. For tomorrow, the rain will be around in the morning. It looks like it will be around into the early afternoon hours. But as we progress towards the evening hours and especially into Wednesday night, Harvey's going to be kicking itself out of here, moving towards the northeast. I think we'll start to really notice the improvement within the Golden Triangle as we get closer to, say, about that noon hour tomorrow, and maybe even slightly earlier than that, but just to give you a concrete time, say that noon hour tomorrow. Towards the lakes region, you guys will look like you'll start to really clear it out as we get to about 5 o'clock tomorrow, maybe a little bit more heavy rain than what you've seen up to this point from Harvey. As far as our 3-day forecast goes, of course, tomorrow's a red bar day as we'll continue to see the flooding around southeast Texas. A yellow bar day as we get into Thursday, hoping that that weather will continue to improve. And as we get towards Friday, we'll start to really dry out southeast Texas, and you'll notice the weather really improve as we get into Friday with hopefully a lot of sunshine around. And that does look to be the case. The weekend looks to be pretty good as well. We'll see some clouds around. An isolated shower or two is possible, but compared to what we've seen over the past few days and what we'll still see over the next 24 hours, an isolated shower is a whole lot of nothing for us. But then as we get towards Monday or Tuesday, that's when our focus will start to shift towards that to see what kind of showers and storms that we have. So the days that we have to really keep an eye on look to be as we get over the next 24 hours, with the weather improving as we get towards later tomorrow afternoon as well as tomorrow evening. It's just obviously a surreal storm system, an unreal tropical storm that we've seen here within southeast Texas. And I got to tell you this much, I got to turn this air conditioner down just a touch because it's just unreal, all the stuff that we have going on here. And I just had to say that because this storm's just kind of, it gets you warmed up and it gets you really going here with the juice as far as Tropical Storm Harvey goes. So Dejanique, I know that we were just talking a couple of minutes ago about how you went through Katrina, that would have been 12 years ago. How does this compare to you going through that then and this now?
You know what's interesting? We evacuated Katrina, so at the onset, it was kind of a spectator sport. We were watching from where we were, seeing the devastation that was happening. And then once we got back into the city limits and started to little by little see the damage that was happening, we really dealt with the aftermath. So my memories of Katrina mostly deal with the aftermath of how it affected us sitting outside in the summer months of Louisiana with no power for weeks on end, and people waiting in lines for ice, for bags of ice for literally hours. And just the fact that it just so it was something that affected so many people for such a long time. And I think with this storm, what I'm seeing is the fact that it is just sitting here, raining on us. We're in it. And people right now are thinking about survival, but my mind immediately